Yeah. Hello, peoples.
What's up, everyone?
Oh, good God. It's been a long week. It's not
Yes,
even
but
over yet.
what better way to relax than with the Thursday Warriors talking about comics?
Just us and some Thursday Warriors talking
Yeah.
comics, hanging out, doing a thing.
Yep.
Oh, good God. Hold on. I was in another meeting ahead of this, and I was like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get my books, like the covers for the thing, and
Yeah.
I'm like running around. It just sucked. But I will be ready to go here in a second. Like
That's
officially
cool.
ready to go. All right.
So, just while you're doing that, just a reminder to everybody that this Friday or this Saturday is free graphic novel day. So
there you go.
You come out to the store, you get a free graphic novel off the table, you buy a regular price graphic novel, and you can pick another graphic novel off the table, and you can keep going and going and going. So come
or you
check it
buy
out.
one off the wall and you get a free one off the table.
Yep.
Basically, you buy stuff, you get free stuff off tables. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be down at Parkersburg, West Virginia, at a little mini show, so you guys can come and visit there. Yep. Which reminds me, I should probably let Justin know what my address is since he's meeting me here tomorrow.
I'm guessing it's 105 Cooltown Avenue.
Oh,
amazing!
Don't you know? No. But so I had to pick up some stuff for the show, and I went to Cranberry for a little bit, and Elwood for a little bit, and Butler for a little bit. And on the way back, I'm like, oh, I need to get like strings and a truss rod wrench for my guitar. I'm gonna stop at Brighton Music Center, right? Yeah. And I'm wearing an NDC shirt, right?
Yeah.
Like one of my my zip up fleeces. Two dudes separately are both like, New Dimension Comics, I shop there. That place is awesome. And I'm like, nice. Oh, which one do you go to? Like, oh, the one up at the mills. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So the one dude, after talking about the tone that the bass player from Tool gets for like 20 minutes, introduced me to the owner, and the owner's like, oh, New Dimension Comics, no shit. He's like, nice. I sold my collection of Simpsons figures up there a long time ago. And I'm like, I was the manager there when you did that. So it was very small world, but it was kind of nice to be slightly recognized.
Yeah.
So
we're recognized everywhere we go. The other day I went to Pizza Hut, and the lady was like, hey, Tim, this is the 8th time this week. So just kidding.
Actually, I have been getting people that have recognized me from the show.
Yeah, you were saying last week you were talking about that.
There was another guy on Sunday. I was at the Mills helping out, and some dude went to the toy show, the Toy Palooza, which I would have been at had I not had to cover the store. But I'm glad I was there because it was like super fucking busy. Anyway, one of the dudes is ringing out, and he was like, hey, like, who are your guests coming up on the show? And I was like at the con. He's like, no, the podcast. And I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, I listen to it every week. You guys are awesome. And I'm just like, oh, thanks. But I think he was one of your regulars.
Okay.
I don't remember what his actual name was. But I can tell you who the guests are because I have that in my book. Just give me a second to get to the page. So next Thursday we have Dog Pound Brown, which I will send you the digital book that he did. And then the 17th we have Scott Haynes and James from the Lost Garden, which I have a physical copy of that I need to give to you after I've been reading it.
Okay.
So a couple indie creator guys reached out to us. Totally cool. Dog Pound Brown was a He was a recommendation from Marvin, actually.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
I trust Marvin to not send us anybody that's poopy. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're good. So
I'm unbagging dollar books while we're doing
comics
this, so don't mind
with
me.
Maddie and Daddy McElroy. I'm assuming that's John.
I'm gonna say that
McElroy?
probably is.
McElroy,
Yeah,
right?
McElroy. I think.
McElroy. I like McElroy. It sounds cool.
McElroy. Actually, that was it's McElroy, I believe. And when there was a John Butler that worked for us, he used to call him McElroy. And I was like, I don't think it's McElroy. So he's like, really?
Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I guess we should well no. Oh, if you guys missed the announcement, we're bringing Night Mage to the show this year. He's a very popular cosplayer dude. He's a giant sheriff from Ohio that has done so much charity work with his cosplaying that he's gotten awards from multiple presidents. And he is cool enough to come in and hang out with us for a weekend. So
nice.
You should see his spawn. I put it on the con Facebook page and Instagram.
Okay.
All right. Ready to talk comics?
Do we know what he's going to be coming as, or is he just going to be there just as himself?
Oh no, he'll be dressed up. I just don't know what he will be as yet. I probably won't know till he actually gets there. Oh, excuse me. So, but yeah. All right, you guys ready to talk comics?
Right. I'm ready.
Let's do this. Bam. I'm going to talk about Batman: The Killing Time #1.
It's really, I thought that looked really interesting. Flipping through it.
So this is like so it's very interesting because it's basically like two different plots going on at one time. So, well, three. So like, but it's the most coordinated like heist that you could have, putting in Catwoman, Riddler, Croc, and Penguin all at the same time. Like it's Croc does this for a whole page, and then it's Catwoman does this for a whole page, and then Penguin, and it just keeps bouncing like that. Like you're almost like watching like a noir, and the Riddler ends up stealing something, and Bruce Wayne or Batman asks if it's a specific thing when Commissioner Gordon's investigating it. But it was really, really well done. I'm not a huge Tom King fan, but it's a 1 of 6, so that's why I thought it was very good, because he usually does well when he has to cram the story in there. The art's fantastic.
Like, how did they rein him in and get him to do just 6 issues? I was like, right. Usually he's doing some longer things. So
yeah.
Or
but, I mean, the art is just absolutely fantastic in here. There's like a scene where they're pouring wine that's awesome.
Well, it's David Marquez too. He's outstanding. So
definitely check it out. I recommend it.
Does it look like it's something separate? Or is this supposed to be part of like the main Batman kind of timeline?
I think it's something separate.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's part of the main timeline, and Catwoman is like, I feel that it's not part of the main timeline because there's a scene where Killer Croc says something about fighting Batman, and he's just like, oh, I've never, like, people say that when they fight you, you're like this, like, but I find you like this. And I'm just like, when did he not fight Batman? So that's what leads me to believe that it is not a continuity.
Somebody tried to tell me that Batman Catwoman, the thing that Tom King's doing now, was it's a separate thing, like it's not part of the main. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it is, because I thought that was the series that was supposed to be like, remember they canceled his Batman run on Rebirth, and then it was like he was going to do this 12 issue story. So I thought that it was part of it, but somebody told me differently. So
Okay.
now I don't know. Let me see what I want to show next. Let's talk about this one first. So we got this. Nope, go back. This. Okay. What if Miles Morales was Captain America? They're doing 5 of these. There's this one. The next one's Wolverine. Next one after that's Hulk. And in this issue, maybe they give you a glimpse into other timelines to kind of tease what the other ones are. So the girl in the back that's Falcon, during the story, I thought that it was his sister because she said bro at one time. But I think that's supposed to be, I don't know, was her name like Red Herring or something like that in the main universe? The girl that he was dating when he was Miles, they were part of the Champions together. I just don't remember her name.
I don't think it was Red Herring, but I'll look it up while you talk about it some
more. So just real quick, I just have to point out, because I really like Sarah Pacelli's art when she was doing stuff with Bendis, and I really don't like this cover. I think the pose looks a little like off as far as like the way his head is. I don't like the way that it's drawn, kind of bums me out. And I think back to like things like, you know, this, which just looks amazing as Miles. And maybe it's just a matter of whoever's inking it. I don't know. I always thought she did digital, and then covers like, you know, this that she did. And it just kind of bums me out a little bit because I just don't like the way this looks. But anyway, so the story starts off. This is Miles, his father and his uncle are both working for the government, and his dad is trying to recreate the super soldier serum. And his uncle, being who he is, steals the serum and leaves it in his fridge at his house. And Miles comes over. He's like, "Hey, what's up? You home?" And his uncle's not home, and gets the serum, and it turns him into Cap. It was very sloppily written, but it was also a what if. And I feel like what ifs usually were that way anyways. They're very quick, goofy stories. So the big thing was, after he becomes Captain America, his uncle falls out of a helicopter and dies, aka
like Prowler
Bucky.
Uncle.
Yeah. So then Prowler shows up on the scene, and I'm like, oh, who could Prowler be? And you find it later. You find out it's his uncle. But he's fighting against the Gray Skull, and the Gray Skull is trying to use this transdimensional portal because he says, I can sell a lot of weapons from other worlds if I can get to other worlds and get their weapons. And he's using this guy in the back is Genki, and he's the Tinker in this universe.
That's hilarious.
And I took a screenshot of this mostly because I'm like, okay, we have a what if that's going to have 5 different Miles Moraleses, and like 8 pages in, they introduce a transdimensional portal. Like, come on. They're obviously at some point like setting that up so like they could come to the regular universe or something.
They're gonna have a Miles verse crossover.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a Gwen verse, so why not, right? Yeah. You know, but the story was a little, I don't know, it was a little boring. You know, they defeat Gray Skull. It's revealed who his uncle is. And then Miles gets a glimpse into the portal before something happens to it and sees all these different versions of himself. And then he's like, I have a feeling this isn't the end. And that's kind of where it stops. So the covers for it were really cool. I'm sure the collectability is there for it, but the story was kind of boring, even for a what if story. So
fair enough. Hold on. Hey, go downstairs.
Oh, killer.
I know. Well, he's bugging his sister, and she's old and stuff. So. Come here. Hey, come here. Oh my God. Good Lord. Oh my God. Can you do another book while I
Yes, I
deal
can.
with him? All right. Thank you. Sorry.
Next book we'll talk about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider #1, Benjamin Percy. First of all, this cover is just awesome. He's on looks like a chainsaw almost. I mean, you can see the wheel in the front, but it looks like a chainsaw bike, which is pretty Ghost Rider and pretty 90s. But this opens up. Johnny Blaze has had an accident. He wrecked his bike and cracked his skull open, and he had to have surgery. And now he's having gaps in his memory. And he is going to therapy because he has outbursts when he thinks he sees evil things, demons and things like that. He's living in this little town with his wife and his 2 kids. And every time he goes to therapy, he starts to kind of freak out a little bit more. They're prescribing drugs to him. And he's starting to realize that something's not right. As he realizes this, there's a guy that comes into town who looks very much like a demon with a leather jacket on and angel wings. And demon, this guy, yes, and this guy is kind of poisoning all of the people in town, and they're turning on each other. There's one guy that has he's got his lawnmower, and he's just like running over people with his push mower. It turns out that this guy is actually trying to save Johnny. Johnny has been caged up and has been chained up in this nightmare world, which is kind of a nightmare to him because he has a family and he's happy, but he also is, being sedated and kept, I guess, off the grid is to keep Ghost Rider out of the game. So somebody's, playing him and keeping him locked up. And once he realizes that, and once this guy touches hands with Johnny and he realizes that this is this nightmare world that he's in, he breaks free and turns into Ghost Rider and basically unleashes hell on everybody that's in this town. And it looks like it's going to get real interesting. If you like Ghost Rider, if you like Trail of Tears, Garth Ennis, any of that stuff, you'll like this. This just feels like back to classic. The last one was really good because it tied in with the stuff that Donny Cates was doing with Doctor Strange and Damnation. But this feels better. This feels more like what Ghost Rider is supposed to be. So I'm hoping that it continues, and I'm hoping that it doesn't get canceled, because it just seems to be the thing that they do. They get a Ghost Rider story and then they go so far in, and then they're just like, and then they cancel it. So hopefully they don't, because it'd be nice to read a longer run of Ghost Rider. So
yeah, we haven't really had a long one since Colin Buns?
Yeah.
Like when he did the thing with Venom, right? The circle something.
Yeah, the Circle of Five or something like that.
Yeah.
So
and then
yes,
and that was Colin Bunn did that, but he was in charge of Venom.
He was in charge
But that
of
was
Venom.
when the Robbie Reyes run that went like 26 issues, I want to say.
Yeah, I think the first volume of it was like 12 issues, and then when Trad Moore like left, and they like, I think they changed it to like all new Ghost Rider or something, and then that one
it was
went
all
longer.
new first. It was then.
Oh, it was all new first, and then
something else.
Ghost Rider. Then it was Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider,
right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it was good. The artwork was fun. And the covers. Oh yeah, I got to show this cover. Where the hell did I put this? I've saved it for a specific reason because it was the wraparound cover, and it's freaking amazing. So there's the front, and then the back. Here, I'll just. I mean, this is Ryan Stegman doing this. Yeah. This is just awesome. And it was and that was a cover price variant. Like that should have been probably an incentive variant.
Oh wow.
Did Ryan Stegman do a wraparound Ghost Rider cover that has all the Ghost Riders that have ever existed on it, and you did it for $5.99?
All the Ghost Riders that ever did Ghost Rad?
Yeah, that ever rode Ghost.
That ever rode Ghost?
To ever rode Ghost. Yeah.
Ghost roading. What? Anyway. All right. My
all right, you're up
book.
2 in a row.
All right. She-Hulk number 2. First off, I absolutely love this cover. It's so good.
Yeah, it's Jen Martell. She's awesome.
I know. This kind of like it starts off kind of remembering that Jack of Hearts saved the She-Hulk once, and he like what his powers are where he absorbs radiation, and his powers are all off the chart because he said he went to space and blew up. Then he is now like I need something, and she's like, let me get you a drink. He's like, I don't drink water, I don't drink anything since my mutation kicked in. And all of a sudden he drank the glass, and then he's like, yeah, I guess I'll have another one. And they like he just keeps doing that, and they kind of does the same thing with food. So it's kind of interesting that he talks about like how Tony Stark made like a cell for him kind of to absorb some of the radiation, and where he found himself after he went to space and exploded was in this weird other kind of cell cylindrical thing. He kind of breaks out of it and kind of ran away, and the only thing he could think of was finding Jen. So that's why he shows up at her place. So there's a lot of really good like catch-up talk. And then it's like the next day she goes to work. There's this really funny scene where like she's walking and there's an ambulance stuck in traffic. So she just picks it up and puts it like in front of the traffic, and just like puts her lawyer card in the window. So then it kind of just ends with some creepy talk in the area that Jack of Hearts woke up in. So all in all, it's very good. I like the story. I like where it's going. I like the storytelling. The art's fantastic for me. The Bartel covers are even better for me.
It's like the artwork is like not cartoony, but it's on like a nice edge of not being like too dull or too detailed. I think it fits really well for the She-Hulk books. Like after, when you go back and look at Sensational She-Hulk and stuff like that, I feel like it fits very well with those.
Like there's definitely some scenes where she makes some mouth movements, and it's like it looks like almost like a cartoony, like chipmunk cheek style face. So that's the only part that of the art that's kind of weird, but I agree. Excuse me.
But
I think it fits well with the story.
Not over the top like remember they did that Patsy Walker Hellcat series a few years ago that was just like real cartoony, like bubbly. Not to that
like
level.
that. Yeah. Still good though. Still good. I think it works for the book, which is why I like it. It's very much so like how Asia's art worked for Hawkeye, you know.
Uh-huh.
Like if had anybody else drawn that, it probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So it just worked out. All right, let's see what my next book is. Boom, Saga 56. So weirdly, so Tim and I were talking about this book earlier, and I said I'm gonna just find all the dicks and the sex scenes, and I'm gonna use only those stills tonight. Then I said I was just joking, but then I read the book, and there literally are none in this book, in this issue, and I was like, God damn it! So where we left them off, yeah. So where we left off was the ship, the tree ship gets caught by the pirates. Here they are talking to the crew, who's a guy who's captained by a guy with antlers, and I mean like moose antlers, because he's from the same planet Marco was. We get to see Prince Robot's dad, who is a giant flat screen headed guy, and he's fat. It's really, really funny. Let's see. We also meet the rest of the crew on the ship, and they are a band, and they're literally called Guitar, Vocals, Drums. Like they don't actually have real names. It's just guitar, vocals, drums. And they're basically CD burners. Like their whole like thing that they sell to people are bootlegs of CDs, and it's like this giant haul of CDs. It's great. And we also see a female TV or robot bounty hunter that's gonna then go and try to find the people who killed his son. And then that's kind of it. And then the funny part is like at the end they have this reader saga. So it's like, do you love your job? How many push-ups can you do? What are your pronouns? Did that last question bother you? Like, and it's like they're playing 25 questions with every reader. Like you can write it into the letters, and I'm just sitting here going, I really need to do that. That's just gonna be really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So good times. I enjoyed
it. My last book was strange. It was really strange.
Was it really strange?
Was it? It was.
How strange was it?
This strange.
It was
so this is, yes, it was Clea Strange. I don't know why I thought Clea was Dormammu's daughter and not her uncle, but apparently it's her uncle, and I misremembered.
Yeah, wasn't she like his kind of like his herald there for a while?
Yeah. And she's pretty wicked strong too.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So this picks up where Death of Doctor Strange left off. Doctor Strange dies, opens up, so the magic that's protecting Earth, it collapses, and Doctor Strange, it activates a spell that brings a young version of Doctor Strange to the present to help solve that and to help maybe resurrect Doctor Strange. It does resurrect Doctor Strange. He dies, and then the other Doctor Strange, the younger one, he only had so much time before he died off. So in the span of a 5-issue Death of Doctor Strange series, he died 3 times. So they were not joking when they called it the Death of Doctor Strange. So this picks up, Clea is the Sorcerer Supreme. She had been left the cloak, and I guess because of some laws of them being married, that it goes to her. rather than back to somebody else to be, Doctor Strange. But it literally opens with this dude facing off against Clea. Page 1. She's like, who the hell are you? He's like, I'm the Harvest Man. I'm like, okay, well, you look like Mask, like the male version of Mask. And then I go to the next
Mask,
page, and he's like, and you will not resurrect Stephen Strange. And I'm like, that's like Necron. I'm getting very Necron vibes, out of this character. Especially if he's supposed to be somebody that's guarding death or something like that, then I'm really getting those vibes. So that's the first 2 pages. And then it cuts to Clea. She's wearing the cloak of levitation like a bathrobe, which I think is hilarious. And Doom pops in, and he's like pissed off, and he's like, hey, you have my Eye of Agamotto, you have my cloak of levitation, I'll take those now. And she's like, no, you won't, because you're not the Sorcerer Supreme. And he's like, how dare you talk to me? And then she just goes nuts. And she's like, how dare you talk to me like that? And she kind of puts Doom in his place, which I thought was kind of cool. So he leaves, he storms out, and she meets up with Wong, and they decide that they're going to go out and look for some information because their plan is to bring Stephen back. And they go to this shrouded bazaar, which is in like an alley that only magic will allow you to go there. So it's like the Diagon Alley of the Doctor Strange universe. And while they're there looking for things, somebody tells them about how the bazaar has been under attack recently. Everybody keeps taking shots at it, including this gang called the Blasphemy Cartel, who were just around the day before. As they're talking about that, the Blasphemy Cartel show back up to try again to take this bazaar down. And Clea kind of goes mad, crazy, showing her level of power. She kills every single one of them. Turns one dude, just disintegrates into butterflies. It was pretty nice. It was pretty wicked. And she's getting lectured later by Wong, who's like, this isn't the dark dimension, this is Earth, and you're the Sorcerer Supreme, so you need to start acting like it. She tells him that she has a plan to bring Stephen back, but she also says, if you think about it, Earth's heroes have died a lot, and they come back a lot. So maybe Stephen will come back on his own, before they even have to bring him back. So she puts out this passive detection spell, which she says is basically like a smoke detector that looks for any surges of necromantic energy. So she's basically using this as something to scan the earth to see if there's any kind of energy that's similar to Stephen's, to point out if he has been resurrected or has come back from the dead on his own before they even do it. As she says that, she kind of gets pinged that something is going on. She flies out the window to go find it, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I think this is a mini. I think it is. You have to go pick it up if you like. I'm going to say this. If you guys are Ron Friends fans, go pick up this book, because when you see what's at the end, holy shit. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to say, hold on a second, because I have it in my stack over here, and I'm really curious.
Look, but don't say. But don't say.
I will. I know.
Look, but don't say. Look.
Pretty sure I grabbed it. Hold on. Carnage, Ghost Rider. There it is. Last page. I'm thinking.
Yeah, last page. Yep. Last story.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right?
And I'm just curious, because I'm curious which one it actually is. Because there were two. I think it's the first one, though. I think.
So either way, people need to go buy this book, and ours are in now. They are on the shelf, so you can go pick them up if you didn't sub to them. We still have a good bit left, including a few of the Art Germ cover. So yeah,
Cool.
that's my book.
All right, my last book. So everybody knows how much I love a good book that just makes you question religion and just be weird. This book is like high fantasy meets like awkward Christian questionable things. By that I mean from Steve Orlando and Tim Sneely.
Yeah.
That so this apparently was a book. It's a sequel to a book that Tim Sneely wrote when he first started, which is really hard to find. But basically, they clone Jesus, and he is a like almost like Conan superhero swordsman guy, right? And the people that he's fighting are the New Vatican, because the Pope is the Red Pope, and that's actually Dracula, and he's fighting a bunch of vampires.
Okay.
This book is just awesome. It's got fighting. It's got weird vampire stuff. It's got like, they also like cloned one of the other guys. Who was it? I can't remember. Anyway, but you see people turn on Jesus. You see people turn into vampires. It's so good. It reminds me of like, remember Claus? Like where they like made Santa Claus like a crazy barbarian guy.
Yeah, the KLAUS.
Like yeah. It's kind of like that kind of a vibe, but way more like intensely cool, in my opinion. Like,
nice.
I just love when they kind of mess with options from any kind of religious standing, because I like it when people think outside the box with their theology. I'm not ripping on religion. I just think it's cool when people think out of the box.
Yeah.
But it was just so good. The art's freaking-tastic, especially for all like the sword swings and everything you see. It's all kinds of cool. Nice. But it's also got like a little bit of a Mad Max vibe to it as well. Because they're in this like weird dystopian future.
Yeah.
So, I recommend it. Everybody should go check it out. Loaded Bible. Loaded. I will not answer that question for you, Dan. I will not confirm or deny. Is there a Judas? Is there a Judas in it?
Oh.
I will tell you he gets betrayed. That's all I'm going to tell you. But yeah, the recovering Catholic in me has to buy this kind of weird crap. Like, I bought Holy Fucked. I thought that book was awesome too, where it was like literally like Jesus Rambo. So anyway,
it feels good to just sit here
and not have a guest.
Bagging. I mean, I love having guests on, but it's a nice, relaxing show to be able to just talk about comic books, because we haven't done that in like a month. It seems, well, maybe about 3 weeks. And just bagging. I'm just doing bagging boards and getting my books ready while we talk about awesome comics. And
right. Or if Todd be on here and having him drone on and on and on, and the only person liking it is Wrong to Miss. Hey.
To be fair, he probably doesn't realize he's rambling on and on and on.
That's fair. He was pretty sober this time though, so I will.
Oh, okay.
I will admit that. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anything crazy happened between then and now either for like any like cinematic type things.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the Mandalorian finale. The Batman comes out today, so go check that out because we're going to talk about it next week during that during our interview.
Okay, but when we talk about it, we have to.
Oh yeah, Dan, Battle Pope. Fuck yeah!
I'm gonna
yeah.
go see it tomorrow, and then
Me too.
once me and you get on the same page as far as like what our thoughts are, we may or may not have to title next week's show "Batman."
I have heard a lot of good. Now we're in the speculation area of this movie. So I guess we could talk about that a little bit. I've heard nothing but good things, and that it is very detective-y is what I heard.
I like that. I heard that too. He's still just a weird choice. I mean, he's so weird of a choice for Batman that it makes me question less Ben Affleck as Batman.
So
I mean, it's definitely a very different take. It's like a skinny Batman. I mean, that helmet, like his head just looks very small.
It's because I was just gonna say because he has like this giant fucking forehead and this really tiny chin, like nose to chin area. Like it's very compact down here, but he has like this giant. It's almost like he's wearing a hairnet. Remember from Scrubs, like the hairnet. Like,
when he had his he was on his blue moped and he had his hairnet.
Yep.
One of my favorites.
So it's almost like that on there, but nice. I thought everybody else looked pretty good. I kind of like the red tint thing. See how it goes. I mean, I had a buddy go out to the LA premiere and she liked it a lot. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm really excited for this take on Catwoman. Except for the mask. I don't really like the mask. It just looks like a ski mask she cut a hole in. But I'm excited because I feel like this will be the first real take on a Catwoman that like maybe that they'll, because I didn't like Anne Hathaway's. Nobody liked Halle Berry's. DC didn't like Halle Berry's because DC was like, oh wait, by the way, that's not our
it's not
Catwoman.
Canon. It's not canon at all.
They hated it so much they were like, no, that's just something separate.
I think they only did that because the fans complained, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I think I think Zoe Kravitz is going to be an interesting choice. I always wanted them to actually see them like I would rather see like a Batman Catwoman team up movie, like where they're team up the whole time, or like married. Even if it's like Earth 2 where we end up getting like the Helena Wayne Huntress, I'd be okay with that 100%. But I guess we'll see. So, but
I just still think it looks like there's that one scene in the commercial. I still think it looks like the video for Helena from My Chemical Romance, like a church. He's got the long hair. He's got like the shadowy makeup on his eyes and stuff. Just like he's got raccoon eyes. So I'm waiting for Gerard Way to show up.
Oh man. If Gerard Way was randomly in this movie, it is instantly the worst movie I've ever seen. Just so you know.
How do you feel about this like I know it's a more realistic take. How do you feel about like this Riddler with duct tape and a green jacket that's more like Zodiac killer realistic take?
I'm curious to see if it works. Like if they can make the story work for them, cool. But I mean, but it is also like you're more likely to see that kind of guy than you are like the Jim Carrey or the one from like the 66 Riddler. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm down really with the suit but
Yeah.
like I like the idea that he's kind of like a Zodiac killer. I like that.
I
idea.
like that idea too, and I think to the Arkham games and how they did the Riddler, and I liked it. He was very tech heavy,
Mhm.
and he was leaving clues and like kidnapping people and putting bombs on them and all kinds of stuff like that. And I just thought that was very interesting. And I feel like that there was a way that they could have taken it that way without going too dark realistic.
Yeah.
Because I don't like losing the character, you know what I mean, that you build. I don't like the iconography of it. You just got a guy in a green jacket with duct tape all over his face. Like, it seems less like a Batman villain and more just like a real life villain, like a real life psychopath. And there's plenty of that on the news. So
I feel like we're gonna get some kind of Joker Riddler mix.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of okay with it though, because like I said, it's not gonna be the Jim Carrey one, and it's not gonna be them trying to redo a full Joker again. Because we have what, four if you count Cesar Romero, right?
I mean, unless the rumors are true. Did you hear those rumors?
No. What?
I guess at the end, the cameo at the end, maybe. If nobody wants to hear this, tune out now. The guy that played Druig in Eternal, is the new Joker.
Huh.
And there was a screenshot that supposedly leaked, and it looked awful. It just looked like somebody was getting dressed up for like a day at the office as like just a clown, and then they were like, "Oh, what if I just put this fork in this outlet?" And then they did that, and then that was the picture. But I mean, it was also just a screenshot, so it's hard to be too critical of something that was just a screenshot,
Right. Ron said now the show is getting interested with Puppy Lion. Yes, Lola came to visit. I posted a picture the other day where Michelle had put this lion suit on her, and I wrote like Mom put this lion suit on me. I am not pleased. And she had like deadpan face like she does right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people enjoyed it. So lion puppy. I was also like, oh, she's like either cross-dressing or trying to go trans. I don't know, because she's got a mane.
Like that suit, and she's not lying.
Hey, so,
that's all I got.
Right. But
well, so good to be back to normal.
Yep. I'm gonna let Ron know that he can come back.
Okay, he wanted to walk away for a sec because of the spoiler.
Yeah,
which might not even be a spoiler. It could have just been some weirdo fan, because usually when that stuff gets leaked, then it's like all over the internet. So just hearing it that one time leads me to believe that since it didn't blow up, then it's probably not true.
Right.
But and then real quick, I'm sure you heard they want to do a rated R Penguin TV series on HBO Max, and I just don't care.
Like, I mean, if it with that penguin,
okay, with that penguin.
Well, first, let me see how this penguin goes first before I make any final calls. But if it's like just him in the Iceberg Casino the whole time, like that'd be kind of baller. I'm not gonna lie.
Colin Farrell. I don't really like Colin Farrell in most things. I can't think of anything I've really liked him in. I thought he was a shit Bullseye.
I was gonna say I think this is his like his redemption, like Affleck's got Batman. Like,
maybe.
We're gonna.
I mean, that would be great
you
if
in
it
the
was.
DC universe.
That would be great if it was.
Yeah.
He did that stupid movie Phone Booth.
I didn't see that.
Oh my god, don't see it. What else?
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I mean, I guess he was in the Fantastic Beasts movies and wasn't super terrible.
That movie was. Those movies were good.
He wasn't super awful in that.
I know we're definitely missing
Yeah, there's big
something.
movies in there that he did. I just can't think of what they are.
Is it 2 L's or 1 L?
Um, I don't know. It'll pop up. It'll tell you. It'll be like, hey,
I
look at
got
this.
it. 1 L. Okay. Oh, he was in Ava. If you watched that on whatever streaming service that was, it was
I
okay.
did not.
He's in the Artemis Fowl, or he's Artemis Fowl Senior on the Artemis Fowl show, which is the
Okay.
Harry Potter show thing.
Yeah, which
He was in
get...
Dumbo.
Yeah, that was probably one of the worst of the live action ones that Disney's done.
Oh, he was in a season of True Detective that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was in Saving Mr. Banks.
No.
Total Recall. He did that Total Recall remake that I will say I actually liked because it was actually closer to the books. Oh, and Dan also said Total Recall. Good job. Dan.
I didn't see it.
It was closer to the books, but it was like weird or like because of that.
Okay.
Triage, Pride and Glory, Miami Vice.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of Scrubs. Alexander, At Home at the End of the World, Daredevil. Oh, there's Phone Booth.
Maybe
is
he
that
just
with
needs...
oh, he was in Minority Report.
You're still not telling me, especially with Minority.
Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker was in Phone Booth.
Yeah, he was. I think he was the detective that was like. So it was like Phone Booth was like he answers this phone booth that's ringing, and this guy's holding him hostage in a phone booth, and he's making him confess to all the things that he's done wrong in life. And if he does, like, that he cheated on his wife and stuff, and if he doesn't, because he knows the truth and everything about him, he'll start killing people that are just hanging out in the street. And it just goes on for like 2 hours, and it makes you want to just like puke and then eat it and puke. So
gross. I'm not really down with eating puke, but
I'm not down with puking.
I'm not down with puke either.
I'm not down with puke.
Yeah, puke's not good. All right, well, again, everybody watch it, and we'll talk about it next week with our guest. But that's pretty much it for this week. Yeah, Justin and I are going to go see it after we load in down in Parkersburg. So
nice, cool.
Because we have nothing else to do, and we have to be done by 5. So
when you're going to West Virginia, wear your mask.
We'll see. So anyway,
all
right. See
guys.
everybody later. Thanks. We will catch you next week or in the store. All right. Bye.
See you guys.